Okay, this is the time for the market update. Welcome to Smart Investing. If you want to help, subscribe, like, and comment. So let's go straight into it. This is a very, very strange day today because we had a very good beginning of the trading days where the market was going up quite by a bit. And then suddenly, bang, the market crashed to finish the day negatively. Except, of course, for my swing trade of CRM, which actually is up almost 2%, which is fantastic for today. So let's go watch the chart, and then we're going to see why this happened during the day. See, the market started very good on the day, went up almost 1% something, and then collapsed from 12 o'clock, collapsed back to the lowest level almost at the closing at minus 0.75. And actually that happened also for SPY, same story, you see, increase at the opening and then collapse to the lower level at the closing. Funny enough, and interestingly enough, IWM actually is closing flat, was not very much trading like QQQ SPY, was almost flat all day, slightly positive, but a bit negative, then went flat at the close of the market. And what we can see also that TLT is flat, so rate has not moved up. VIX has increased by 5%, so we had a bit more volatility. And what is interesting is that Tesla has collapsed by 15%. Can you believe? This stock is too volatile, you know. Suddenly, bang, in one day, collapsed by 15%, and no news, nothing, you know. Oh my God, you know. All of this because Musk is criticizing Donald Trump, and then there's a lot of speculation, and you know, it's all sentiment driven, nothing fundamental driven. When a stock loses 40% in one day, there's nothing fundamental about it. So of course, Max 7 closed 3% down because mostly of Tesla. But all the other Max 7 were holding quite well, positive for the day, except Apple minus 1%, Meta minus 0.41, Nvidia minus 1.36. But Tesla is the main key drivers of the negative performance for the Max 7. CRM is the swing trade that I was talking about in my previous video, so I invite you to look at the video for CRM, the swing trade I was playing. You can see today the price went up to 268 and close to 267, but what is more important is that the swing trade seems to be working because although that the market is negative, CRM has managed to be closing on a positive note of 1.5%, which actually could support the thesis that CRM has bottomed in this area of support of 260, just below all the candle, you see. And it could be that my swing trade is going to work. So the first objective will go back to the 280 marks, and then after that to the 200 moving average, which is the 300 marks, and that's my target. If I reach the 300 marks, or I close the position, or I sell a call option to make additional cash on the 300 marks. That means I'm going to make quite good money on this trade, and I told you that I'm using leap option to do that trade. What is also worth noticing is that a lot of stocks has decreased quite dramatically. AMD decreased by 2.5%, Coinbase by 5%, Donald Trump by 8%. Palantir also is a quite significant decrease today of 7%, but still very much close to the all-time high. So I shouldn't be worried about Palantir. SMCI closed almost 8% today, which is quite surprising, but still trading within the trading range of since the big gap up of the low of April. So you see, we were trading a low of April around 31. Gap up, and then we were trading between these two trading range here, which is around 45 and 39. And you can see that we are still trading at the same level despite the pullback of about 8%. So it's still very much in the right trading zone. The euro is still appreciating from 1.10 to 1.14, which is not good for my personal portfolio because I'm investing mostly in US dollar and I'm a euro-based investor. But never mind, I don't believe that this is a very strong trend for the euro. I mean, If the European rate are decreasing, US rate much higher, I mean, you get almost close to 5% on a US dollar, 2% on a euro. The interest rate differential should play in favor of the US dollar. But all the uncertainty with the tariff, the trade deal, and so on, is putting a lot of pressure on the dollar. But this is very short-term lived, you know. Don't expect that the dollar is going to continue to depreciate over the medium term. It's probably the highest of the range that the dollar will go. The lowest of the range the dollar will go, and the euro is not going to go much higher than 115. I don't think so. And actually, we are the top limit of the Bollinger Band here. And I mean, it doesn't make sense the euro is appreciating against the dollar, especially with the differential in interest rates between the two nations, the two currency. And if you look at the growth rate of the US, is much higher than the one in European. And I don't think that this short-term play on the euro should be a long-term trend. I don't think so. I think the euro will collapse back to 110, 109, where it should belong, and where it was traded since 2023. Small cap has held really well today. I mean, pretty flat for the day. QQQ still holding almost close to all-time high. So the pullback of today is nothing abnormal. You can see the setup is still higher lows. So we are still on the upward movement. I mean, there is no denying it, you see. We close, you see, higher lows, high lows. And higher highs also. So this is definitely on a bullish pattern. SPY, same thing, you know. And I'm not going to be worried about this, you know. This is very short-term movement. Let's see at the economic front. Challenger job cut 93, so it's less than the previous months. Continuous jobless claim exactly as forecasted, a bit less than forecasted. So the job market still doing well. Initial jobless claim slightly above what estimated, but not dramatically higher. I mean, nothing really to worry. Then we have tomorrow some government payroll. I think tomorrow is probably the biggest day and the most important day for the employment data. So we're going to wait tomorrow to give a definite assessment on the employment market, okay? Now, if you look at the headlines, what is driven? Stock halts rally before job as Tesla sink 12%. This is it, you know, this is why Tesla is sinking by 14%. Stock fall as Trump, Musk fight sink Tesla by 14%. This is just about the third. They seems to be the best friend, and now they are the worst enemy. I mean, this is politics, you know. You have to be careful playing politics. Musk wanted to play politics, and now it's impacted a lot his own company. This is crazy, you know. US trade deficit narrowed by most on record as import plunge. US initial job claims rise to the highest level since October. So they are trying to make a headline out of it, but it's nothing, you know. Canada trade deficit hit records as US tariff crush export. So basically, you know, the biggest headline is probably Donald Trump and Elon Musk feud, and obviously Tesla has been massively impacted. And actually, if the market is actually weaker than expected, especially on the employment front, that means we can expect the Fed to decrease rate, and decreasing rate is supportive for the equity market. So nothing really to worry about. A decreasing in rate is more like supportive for the equity market. Okay, I'll make it short today because I did already a video on CRM, so I invite you to watch that video on CRM by Swing Trade. I think this is an excellent opportunity to get into Salesforce for a short-term and medium-term swing trade. Definitely, this stock should rebound to the 300 marks, which is actually the 200 moving average. It did already from the low of April, then we traced back 50%, and now it should go back to the 300 marks to test again that significant resistant level. So I am playing this swing trade. If you want to play this swing trade, so stay tuned and watch if this is going to play out in the next few weeks and months. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Take care. Bye.